Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. It starts all with the silence of the heart. Life starts, growth happens, transformation happens, all with the silence of the heart. People may call you disabled, and for that matter, everyone is disabled in one way or the other. Everyone is disabled in one way or the other. Call yourself differently disabled. You are now getting the VIP treatment wherever you go. And when you have cherished the silence of the heart, wherever you go, leave your footprints. Just a few minutes, it is starting. It all starts with the silence of the heart. When there is silence within, growth happens, transformation happens, and all that is precious begins to happen. People may call you disabled. For that matter, everyone is disabled in one way or the other. But everyone is differently disabled. Everyone is disabled in a unique way. Accept yourself as you are. Then something precious happens to you. You may not be able to walk. You may not be able to do many things like anybody else, but you can do something which no one else can do. Something that brings joy to you. Something that gives you the fulfillment. That is why you are differently disabled. It is the most precious thing. Cherish it. And wherever you go, leave the footprints. Leave the footprints of kindness, compassion, and awakening. This silence, this awakening that I am speaking of always belongs to the heart. Silence is an overflow. Silence usually is understood to be negative, but it is not. It is understood as negative, empty, absence of sound, and all kind of noises. This is how we understand silence to be. I am speaking of the silence that is overflowing, a silence that is dancing. This is so because very few people have experienced the real silence of the heart. Silence of the heart means your heart center is invoked. All that they have experienced in the name of silence is noiselessness. Noiselessness is not silence. Remember this. Noiselessness is not silence. When there is no noise, that does not mean there is silence. Noiselessness is negative and it is of the graveyard. Silence is the echo of bliss and joy. Silence is the echo of bliss and joy. But silence is totally different phenomenon. Silence is a totally different phenomena. It is overflowing, it is dancing, it is exuberant. It is utterly positive. It is existential, not empty. It is overflowing with a music that you have never heard before, the existential sound. It is filled with a fragrance that is unfamiliar to you. Silence is filled with a fragrance that you have been unfamiliar with until you experience it. Silence is glowing with light that you can only see with inner eyes. Silence is glowing with light that can only be seen with inner eye. Silence is not something fictitious. It is a reality, overflowing, that is already present in each one of you, but you never look within. All your senses are extrovert. Let them be introvert and you will begin to feel silence as a dance, silence as an unknown fragrance, silence as light. Your eyes are open outwardly. Your eyes are open outwardly. Your hands move outward. Legs and senses are meant to explore the dualistic world of outside. But there is a sixth sense as well. A sixth sense as well. This remains asleep because you have never known it, you have never used it, you have never discovered it, and no society, no culture, no education system helps you to make the sixth sense active in you. All your university education, your religious discourses and teachings do not help you to make the sixth sense active. This is what we call the third eye. To see something one-dimensional, you need two eyes. To see something two-dimensional, you need the eyes. But to see something, always you need one extra eye to see added dimension. In order to see that which is beyond seeing, you need, first you have to discover the third eye. when you are not dependent on the physical eyes and you see something beyond that. This third eye looks inward, and just as there is a way of looking in, so there are ways of hearing in. Whatsoever senses open in the outer world, in the same way, the senses open within, the seeing, the hearing, the smelling, and so on and so forth. It looks inward, and just as there is a way of looking in, so there is a way of hearing in also, and there is also a way of smelling in. It is said, when Holy Prophet passed away, Khadija said that she was filled with the fragrance of Holy Prophet. Just as there are 5 senses moving outwards, there are 5 counter senses moving inwards. In all, men have 10 senses, 5 opening in the outer world and 5 opening in the inner world. Man has, each one of you have 10 senses. But the first sense that starts the inner journey is the third eye. And then all other senses starts opening. Once the third eye is active, all other senses begins to open. You can hear the unheard. You can see the unseen. You can smell that which cannot be smelled. That is why there is a prayer. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyam deva, bhadram pashyame aksharaviya jatra. May I hear that which cannot be heard. May I see that which cannot be seen. And so on and so forth. Each Upanishad begins with a prayer like this. What is, you can hear the words, but the essence, the fragrance of the words is not to be heard with the outer senses. It is to be heard from inner senses. Your inner world has its own taste. It has its own fragrance, its own light. And it is utterly silent and eternal as well. There has never been any noise, and there will never be any noise. No word can reach there except you. No word can reach there except you. The mind cannot reach there, but you can reach because you are not the mind. You are a presence. You are a presence. The function of the mind is to bridge between you and the objective mind, objective world, the world of duality, the world of conflict. The function of the mind bridges the two, you and the outer world of conflicts and duality. But there is another faculty in the mind. In Hindi we use the word aman. Aman, and along with that another word comes aman chan. This comes when you have transcended the mind. Transcending the mind means you are not in duality. There is no conflict. For simple things, conflict always happen. Whether to eat this or that, you are always inconclusive. You cannot make a decision whether to go to sleep or to remain awake, whether to eat this or that. When there is no conflict in you, there is instantaneous decisions. You are moving slowly and slowly. Sometimes these moments comes, but then they do not remain permanently. When such thing begins to happen, encourage that. Take chances. You are moving from mind to no mind, from man to aman. The function of the mind is to create a bridge between you and the objective world. Heart is known as aman, a state when the mind is no more. When the mind is no more functioning, or a state of aman, that in spiritual terminology is referred to as heart. Sufi terminology, it is known as kalb. And when you have moved or beginning to move from mind to no mind, it is said that the kalb, the heart center, is getting invoked. The anhat chakra. Anhat means you are now capable of hearing that which cannot be heard. And the function of heart is to be a bridge between you as you are and yourself, your inner being, your innerness. The silence of the heart is a song in itself. The silence of the heart is a song in itself, without words, without sounds. It's a song. A soundless song, a wordless song. It is only out of this silence that the flowers of love begin to grow and blossom. It is only out of this silence that flowers of love blossom and grow in you. It is this silence that becomes the Garden of Eden. It is the silence of the heart, which in Christianity terms is known as Garden of Eden. Meditation is the key to open the doors of your own being. Meditation is the key to open the doors of your being. Remember, it all starts from within. It is all starts from within. Wherever you go, whatever you do, leave footprints of kindness, footprints of love, and footprints of awakening. Only this much for this morning, until we meet again. Take care and do have a pleasant day.